Hey guys, Sun here. I'm a privacy and security researcher, and you're watching The Privacy Guides. I haven't published an episode in forever, yet again. Damn it, Sun! I have a really hard time doing research and publishing on YouTube at the same time. So yeah, I have a lot of content coming your way. One thing that I've been doing recently is I added this section to my website called Sometimes I Write. There are things that do not really work well in the context of the Privacy Guides reference material that are more kind of editorialized, if that's a word. And that is a great example of this here. This is a story on exploring the password policy rabbit hole. As some of you may know, I started working with Trust Token as part of their security team. And so I'm learning a lot of stuff that I am going to be sharing with you. Now, this story, which goes down the privacy policy rabbit hole and all kinds of misconceptions about how long passwords need to be, I wanted to share this with you guys on Reddit before publishing this on YouTube. The reason is Reddit is a fabulous place to have a conversation and to have things peer reviewed. So to that extent, I went about publishing this 5 hours ago on the privacy subreddit, a place where, as said here, is the intersection of technology, privacy, and freedom in the digital world. And it started getting some momentum when the moderators actually removed it and locked it. I have absolutely no clue why they would do such a thing. In the message here, it essentially says that, hello, we appreciate you wanting. We have noted that you have been repeatedly pushing traffic to either your personal or commercial website. So if ever moderators of this subreddit are listening, I created my own CMS because Medium is not very good for publishing technical stuff. This is my own CMS that works off a Git repository, and it has a whole bunch of features that make it very pleasant for technical writers to publish material. I can also enable this as a public repository in GitHub, and that's what I've been doing in the context of the Privacy Guides reference material, so that people can essentially peer review the content and more than one contributor can work on content. So I'm not sure if I want to go that route for the stories, but it's something that's baked into the CMS. So that is why I'm publishing on my own platform. Now, for some reason, the people that are moderating that privacy subreddit, apparently they don't like the kind of stuff that I'm doing for some reason. And it really makes me upset because I have spent on this story alone more than a week full-time of research, going down the rabbit hole, collecting information, making it digestible for most of you guys. And I really was hoping that conversation here would light up a fire so that everything that I've researched can be peer reviewed. So the fact that those moderators remove this, not only I find is this an example of censorship on a platform that is designed to help people gain freedom, but it is also something that is really bad because I don't get to get this peer review, and then I publish this stuff here on YouTube without having had a chance to hear other people of the privacy community. So anyways, I wanted to share this with you guys and kind of give you a sense of what I'll be publishing in the context of passwords shortly, because I'm super excited about it. But at the same time, I have to admit, it really worries me that moderators of such platforms that are public platforms have this kind of power to decide what gets to be there and what doesn't. So if ever you have a look at this story and believe that it should have been, that you have a look at this story and you believe it should have been available to the Reddit community, please get in touch with the moderators. It's pretty simple. If you go on this here and you go down, there's a place to message the mods. Please let them know that this content is something you care about and that it's totally normal that we want to have a conversation around it, and that publishing it on my own website is actually a way to make sure that it cannot be removed from the internet. This website of mine is hosted at 1984 in Iceland. It is designed in a way to be great for freedom of speech. And if I can't publish this content and share it with you guys, what is the whole purpose of that privacy subreddit in the first place? So sorry for this rant. I'm kind of emotional. I put enormous amounts of time into this research, and being shut down like that is very upsetting. Okay, so putting that aside, there are a whole bunch of misconceptions about passwords. One of them that I hear all the time is that passwords necessarily need to be very long. I'm talking about totally random, probably 18 to 24 characters long, sometimes even 28. And that's kind of something that spreads on the internet. Another one is that we should always use password rotations and rotate our passwords on a regular basis. Another is that passphrases are likely less secure than, totally random passwords. Now, I have gone through a few of those common misconceptions here, so I think I have 4 of them, which are pretty insightful to just kind of get our appetite on this research. Then I am going down the rabbit hole talking about password entropy. How do we evaluate how strong a password is, and how strong does it really need to be from a practical sense? How expensive is it for an adversary to actually attack one of those passwords through brute force? Then going down, we talk about hardware random number generators. So how do computers generate random numbers? How all of this cryptography is designed in a cryptographically secure way. So that is there. And then I talk about key derivation functions, and those are really important parts of the cryptographic stack. So essentially, when you have a password, it's not just stored in a database. It is converted to a more secure form that can be then stored in a database. And that key derivation function key derivation functions that are used out there vary significantly. So the one that's used on Mac OS is I'm never able to say this here, PBKDF2. That is one that can use a varying number of iterations. So it can be not secure, like it can be very secure. And all of these concepts are things that one needs to be aware of when evaluating one's threat model. And then I talk about secure elements. So essentially, most modern computers these days, not this one actually because it's an Intel one, that's a little older. I like older ones because they're more hackable, but newer Macs, for instance, using T2 chips or iOS devices that are recent, they all have secure elements that Apple likes to call secure enclaves that secure special cryptographic keys that are used to encrypt devices, true full disk encryption and stuff like this. And they really enhance security. So and then I talk about threat modeling, and I have a few recommendations. So you can have a look at this white paper and let me know what you think in the comments here. I wish this conversation could have occurred on Reddit before publishing to YouTube, but I would love to hear you guys on this. And if you guys don't report anything wrong about it, I will be creating a whole bunch of episodes on each of those different parts of this white paper to bring you guys along with me into the rabbit hole and explain how all of these concepts work, so that we all get to be a little wiser when it comes to how long passwords need to be, or do we absolutely need to have different passwords for A and B, different use case? What use cases need to be compartmentalized away from our computer, how secure elements work. So yeah, I am really looking forward to sharing this with you guys shortly, probably next week. And in the meantime, again, please help me out on this Reddit, subreddit. I'm not sure why the moderators keep on kicking me in the balls when it comes to publishing. It's quite frustrating, and I would love to open a conversation with you. You can send me an email or something so we can figure this out. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Super pumped to be back on YouTube. I also have a lot of content about YubiKeys, security keys in general. The people at OnlyKey are sending over a device for review. So yeah, a lot of stuff to share. I'll see you soon. Bye.